Grand Rising Tribe. If you already don't know, my name is Mr. Hall, spiritual teacher, guide, author, founder, conscious systems architect, ethical, taboo, and kink educator. Many titles, many labels, none of that matters, right? As reality is still catching up to define what I am. I am because we are. Undeniable, unexplainable, right? I'm just here to give you confirmations, okay? As you are your own best guide, as we are all collectively waking up to this, and also adding some perception and perspective for this thing that we call the human experience, right? And before I begin the videos, I begin to channel, okay? And we can call it channeling, we can call it pattern recognition, we can call it anything within the human context of reality, okay? And as reality is expanding, similar to our consciousness, okay, collectively, individually, we find space for language, and language not simply being words, but language of the universe, language of existence, language in silence, right? It's significant that I'm saying this in that way to you all. What I picked up is, and I'll most likely title this reading, this post, this message, this, I'll title this Building Your Own Path, stepping away from any previously constructed paths. And this is significant because throughout the theme of the readings recently, we've been doing this for, if we look at time linearly, about 6 years on this channel. And outside of the internet, there have been many experiences that have led me to where I am currently, of my own doing and beyond my own doing, but now within my doing, right? Our doing. So that may be significant for you. You really taking stock of, or looking back on, reflecting, okay, not moving backwards, but reflecting on what works for you, what success means for you, what is defining truth and truths. There are many, right? We practice omnism and animism on this channel. Everyone is included, everyone is a human being, and or more, and or maybe even a little less. Either way, you're all included, and the only requirement is letting the energy flow. So I bring this to mention. I bring all this up to mention and give context, possibly for thoughts that you were attempting to articulate, emotions, feelings, things. When you are building your own path, forging something new that has not existed yet, much is remembered. So much is being remembered right now, collectively, consciously, okay? Illusions are being lifted, veils are being separated, perceived chaos being projected at us is simply a bit of the destruction necessary for creation, okay? Rebirth, especially significant if we look in the context of astrological terms, if we're looking in the context of planetary alignments, okay, with there being a trine currently in the planetary skies, if we're even looking at space and planets as being a truth within history, as we understand most of history has honestly not been recorded and has been projected and fabricated by those that are supporting agendas, okay, from secret societies that are not so secret, cartels, gangs, mafias, groups that all have those labels, but also are intertwined and deeply interconnected and rooted globally. MI6, all of these different regions of the world, because this is a world global message. All of these different perspectives from cultures, from species, okay? We're seeing that all of this chaos is a part of this rebirth, okay, with Scorpio season, all right? Scorpio being the sign, if we look at that tradition, that context, that practice, that belief, okay, within occult practices, hermetic practices, esoteric knowledge practices, the Masons, the Eastern Stars, brotherhoods, sisterhoods, the Illuminatis, the corporations and governments that have been corrupted. And not all of these things are or were originally corrupt. They had purpose, they had meaning. However, specific sects and groups within these organizations, these groups, have been committing nefarious, horrific crimes, right? And so we have balance, light and dark. as we move into non-duality, separating from good versus evil, this dualistic nature, which has its benefits as polarities either attract or repulse, right? And that is what moves energy, emotions, energy, emotion. But, and, okay. So taking action, a lot of us are, okay, the collective energy that I'm picking up is the energy of taking action, and not taking action in the traditional sense, taking action in belief in ourselves, self-empowerment, understandings, okay, grasping further. All right, but either way, okay, you may be picking up the sensitivities of your body are becoming clearer. Okay, you can identify this as clairs, you can identify this as pattern recognition, you can identify this in whichever context you practice and follow. Okay, but and as your sensitivities have become more clear, you're able to perceive, all right, through a more expanded scope lens filter. Your lens of understanding is expanding. Your lens of understanding is expanding. Okay? If you're leaning towards the empirical, rational, limited linear logics that have been, okay, and or if you're looking into the theoretical, the receptive natures, divine feminine, divine masculine energies, either way, they're intertwining. And now that everything is beginning to become a bit intertwined, connecting to oneness, right, we have this influx of societies, civilizations, peoples, leaning more towards one side or the other side, or and being completely engrossed in the chaos and confusion and projections of these energies, these strong energies, frequencies, and vibrations. Nikola Tesla breaking it back down, right? So there seems to be a clarity and a lightness as collectives of individuals outside of any aforementioned groups, Golden Dawn, internet cults, sex cults, all of these gangs and different things, all attempting to achieve a specific agenda. But I'm seeing society, parts of society, separate from the systems of indoctrination, of what was once perceived to be cohesive. Okay, you're seeing governments turn on themselves. You're seeing cartels, mafias, and gangs being elucidated in these companies and organizations, corporations, and governments that are now exposed for the nefarious acts that they were partaking in and or are still partaking in specific sects of these organizations and groups, turning in within themselves. I'm picking up an implosion energy. And this may be happening if you are on the spiritual context, within the spiritual context, and understanding the hidden symbolisms of reality and how everything is interconnecting, okay? If you've gained some other keys to wisdom outside of what is traditionally available publicly, all right? We're seeing this shift happen, all right? This rebalancing of what was not previously balanced, even though it was projected to be, right? All of the atrocities that take place, all of the framings, all of the ritual sacrifices, all of this sex magic, all of these darker spiritual practices. And again, there's no judgment. Things are, this is. It can be even worse, right? Unbelievably for some people. For some individuals, some souls, and some spirits. But as we remember that we are spirit having the human experience, okay, we're waking up to more visionaries, more creators, more artists, okay? So you may be, I'll digress. If I've already lost you, go ahead and do some research. This message may not be for you. If it's not, go ahead and share it with someone that you may feel it's for, okay? I'll go ahead and subconsciously activate that. So being aware as well of subconscious programming, okay? A lot of subconscious energy and thinking and beliefs coming forward to the forefront, all right? To expose where we begin again, where we start again, right? This neo-Western civilization, or the neo-whatever part of the globe you are in, okay? And neo referencing to Matrix, how illusionary, okay? So many things have been within our cultures, societies, all right? Confirmation. So really waking up to the illusion, understanding, following specific paths. When creating your own path, there may be no guidance external, to yourself, right? You being your own best guide. And this is what I wanted to provide context on. All right, so this is what I picked up. You may have been astral traveling, right? You may have been falling or seeing yourself in a place. Falling may be significant. If you're having dreams of falling, you may want to look into dream interpretation. You can click the link in my bio. I'll give some clarity on that. If you're unfamiliar with the birth chart, you can click the link in my bio and or do your own research on it as well. And this unfolding into new beginnings, okay, with this scorpionic rebirth energy and a trine, and also a full moon, I believe, coming up shortly, if we're looking in the context of following those understandings, doctrines, beliefs, okay, the sacred, everything being sacred, okay, stepping back into a place of understanding how everything is sacred, and anything attempting to separate or create illusion is a part of indoctrination to specific extents, okay? Balancing, right? Because oil and water don't mix, but you can mix them together, and they do often mix together when you're creating food, right? You're cooking something. You have the pan, you put some water, you put some oil, they don't mix, but you add the ingredients and then they all mix together and it's delicious, right? And if we had a cup filled with water and oil, they would find the balance and equalize, okay? So I'm picking up this equalizing energy, this neutral energy, the completion of, all right? I'm picking up transgenderism, transhumanism, okay? I'm also picking up the integration of non-human intelligent species, non-human intelligence species, okay? So really breaking down different layers of intelligences outside of a standard codec, outside of a standard deviation, outside of a standard doctrine, okay? And spiritual release happening, spiritual burp. If you're unfamiliar with spiritual release and spiritual burp's significance, go ahead and look into that. But really stepping into, I'll digress to the very beginning of the channeled message before I started this video, really stepping into creating your own path. And as you're creating your own path, having reality bend around you. And I'll give more context for this because it may not appear in the literal sense of what we have seen through television, through others, through paths that have been successful, and seeing things fall into place, seeing things align. I'm picking up law of attraction, universal laws, okay? And even beyond that, you creating the universal law, you creating new universal laws, okay? And or quote unquote new. All right, remembered universal laws prior to text, prior to language. I'm picking up a lot of primordial energies, things that have not been experienced in or by humans publicly in this lifetime, okay, as a species. And with this realization that you are creating reality, you are defining new paths. We are the ancestors now, right? With this understanding, you're being congratulated from your ancestors, interdimensionally, let's say Galactic Council, many different terms and labels depending on what circles you are in for this understanding and consciousness. Now, you may have a lot of eyes on you. You may feel heavy frequencies. You may feel the destruction, okay, or this perceived destruction happening. All these heavy feelings can also simultaneously be, depending on where you are in your spiritual timeline, your journey and existence of being human, and experiencing this on this earth school, right, on this galactic Airbnb. This may simply be old timelines breaking down, all right, you finally releasing and stepping into your fullness. Okay, stepping into your authenticity, however that looks for you. No right or wrong answers, no right or wrong way to human, right? Okay. All right, so these were the first things I picked up. Now I want to get into the cards. Let's see what messages we can deduce, what Spirit is letting us know, what we are letting Spirit know. So something about scratching the surface, okay, the tip of the iceberg, something about snake charming, okay, and this energy may be significant as well. So let's look into this. So you being able to see through any type of charm, any type of illusion magic, any type of mirror magic, any type of candle magic, any type of, okay, I'm picking up now on voodoo, hoodoo, santeria, okay, obeah, okay. I'm picking up functionality of, okay, functionality of governments changing, functionality, the gateways of functionality being activated, gateways of functionality being activated. And how I'm perceiving this and how this is coming to me. The steps and the processes that we have used to succeed as a human species are being adapted, adjusted, improved upon, okay? Rebirthed organically, okay? Outside of control of specific dense energies, matrices, perspectives, okay? And this is where the unexplainable and undeniable comes in, okay? Time, if we were again looking at it linearly, is speeding up. Okay, accelerated process. If we look at neutrinos coming and flowing through all parts of the galaxy and understandings, if you are perceptive to galaxies, okay. Something about the root cause of fluidity, the root cause of stability, linear logic. The root cause is changing the way that governments and societies are activating, okay? These gateway activations are happening because there's a change, a deep intrinsic change happening organically within systems that have previously been orchestrated to support and sustain this human experience, okay? They're evolving. We're evolving. Everything's evolving. Okay, so let me get the cards. And I don't know if you heard those horn beeps, but there was a bit of confirmation as well. And digressing back to this snake charming. So something about the purposes, repurposing of public entertainment, rituals, okay, demonstrations, okay, and some type of, some mastery over danger, okay. So with this implosion of these nefarious groups, the sex, so something significant about sex, very relevant to the Scorpio symbolism, sacred energy exchange, pleasure, hedonism, okay, different labels within that as far as the bink. So something about a binky. So almost going back to infancy, okay, or sucking of the thumb, and or self-soothing, okay. So society self-soothing itself, and or you may be finding yourself in this self-care, self-soothing, honoristic energy, okay, honoring yourself, okay. So taking these volatile communications from the universe, let's think Mercury, okay, and becoming the alchemist through adjusting these vibrational frequencies. Okay, so collectively we're stepping into a place that we're able to adjust these vibrational frequencies of chaos and alchemize them into treasures, into gifts, into new paths for being, okay, into new directions. All right, omnidirectional, omnipresent. Okay, I'm picking up omnikinesis energy. All right, if you're unfamiliar with omnikinesis, go ahead and look into that. Okay, so something significant about Pisces as well, because I did have something come up with the feet and also fish. All right. Okay. So species of fish, okay? A balance between the light and the dark, all right? So something sacredly coming up. You may have been dreaming of fish, which that would be its own representation as well. And being the dreamer, dreaming the dreamer's dream, and having this come into fruition, okay? Through newly available technologies, newly available logics, newly available ways of being, okay? So dreaming the dreamer's dream, and this will go back into the theory and context if we look at it theoretically, where empirical science is now more linked to theoretical science, not just looking specifically at the terrestrial plane, right, of existence. We're seeing that there's a merger, okay? Wow, all of these messages coming through. So something about Lenovo, so something about technology companies as well being uncovered, okay? and something about the oval. Okay, so I'm picking up the basilisk. Okay, that may be significant. Also, the monologue, these monologue energies. Okay. All right, some deity being worshipped is not being fed anymore through any type of sacrifices. Okay, I believe specific groups worship this. I'm picking up the Grove, California. These energies and places, and not specific depending on where you are in the world. California may have different significance to you. Okay, I'll look up those letters as well. So some type of group being taken down, essentially. Okay, that's another message. All right. All right, and also the broadening or expansion of the prefrontal cortex, if we're looking at this anatomically. Okay, so also picking up Kabbalism. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're going to go with the Masters of Light Wisdom Oracle deck. Okay. All right, so an illumination of abundance is coming up. An illumination of abundance. Okay. So if we look at this from a business standpoint as well, we're seeing that, okay, so something about changing and restructuring around business for it to be more intuitive and linked to the individual. So stepping away from contexting and defining value through hard work and or manual labor into the profit being built upon contextual, conceptual creation. Okay. If we want to look at this monetarily or through currency, wherever you are in the globe. All right, so the illuminous one or the luminous one, illumination. Listen up, you are a beautiful being of light. It's time to shine your light. You are luminary. Okay, so yes, stepping into these luminary energies, stepping into the Merkaba energies, sacred geometries. Okay, Archangel Ariel, abundance, dream big. It's time to ground your heavenly dreams to earth. Okay. So grounding, right? Being this antenna, being this divine guide, okay? So we'll keep these two, illumination and abundance, as the primary energies, okay? And I'll just hold the cards here so you can get a better look. Take a screenshot if you need to. Okay. Okay, so these mudras here. Okay, as I put the deck again, I had Ascended Master Sanada. Okay, Sacred Heart. You are the vessel for the powers of divine love, devotion, compassion, and forgiveness. So heavy on the forgiving yourself, okay? The taking stock and owning and grounding and honoring your existence, okay? Unapologetically, all right? Tapping into that sacred energy there with grace and hope. So the name's hope can be significant. The name grace may be significant, okay? We'll also pull on the Mystic Shaman Oracle deck. All right, in the previous reading, I did mention this as well. All right, so I'm being guided to mention these transhuman agendas, these nefarious thoughts. Okay, the projection of negative thoughts and energies. Okay, so really, even with me attempting to open this box here, all right, so unlocking the higher self. Okay, unlocking your higher self with the higher self oracle deck being here. Very significant. Unlocking your higher self. Okay. Okay. Get another message. The structure. Okay. Foundational structures of elements changing or being added. check something. This is so something about China as well, something being made in China, some type of flame of infinity. Okay, something about labeling as well, changing the labels that we use, the way that we label each other, the way that we label items, products. Okay, so something about something being made in China. What's being made in China? Some change to balance stability completely. Okay, so something happening in China. All right, so the number 45 is going to be significant as well. All right, the number 24 and the number 99. Okay, whichever context you'd like to use, you can look into angel numbers, you can look into numerology, you can look into context, okay, business indexes. Okay, I'm picking up layers and gates of consciousness. All right, yeah, separating from this with the gates of consciousness, separating from this, you are not alone. Okay, you're saying no to something, no to this perceived idea that you are alone. Okay, no to this perceived perspective that you are alone. You're interconnected. Okay, all right, yeah. Something about the name Seth. Okay, okay. Something about new wisdoms. Okay, an estimation on new wisdom, the new direction of wisdom. Okay, the new direction, an estimation on the new directions of wisdom. Something significant about that. But you're being guided from your ascended masters. All right, whichever you believe in, Buddhism, Jesus, God, the devil, whichever perspective that you hold and can see divinely the energies. Okay, whatever higher self you associate with in the universe consciousness, there's something reminding you that you are not alone. Okay, back to this interconnected energy that I picked up. Yeah, you're tapping into your freedom. You're tapping into your birthright of freedom. Your birthright of freedom in expression, in gender, in identity, in this human experience. Your freedom in this human experience. Okay, you're tapping into that right, that authority, that privilege. Okay. All right, so we'll leave those there. All right, letting the dust settle. I'm also picking up letting the dust settle. Man, I feel this energy of it's coming through, this illumination to what you have been subjugated to, what you've subjugated yourself to, and channeling and transmuting that energy. Okay, because the abuse stops. The abuse stops. Unless you enjoy it, okay? If that's your BDSM thing, not yucking anyone's yum. However, there's balance, okay? And you're going through a triumphant success despite any outside circumstances, okay? And again, circling back to this Machiavellian perspective on the laws of power, the art of war, the art of love and war, right? Nothing is fair, okay? Fair is life as you let it be, right? If you see, depending on and contributing from perspective. If you see the world as evil, the world will be evil, okay? If you see the world as good, the world will be good. If you see it as a mix, it will be a mix, right? You being able to create reality through perception, okay? Shifting your perception and broadening your perspective, okay? You're getting to wish fulfillment. Listen, freedom, wish fulfillment, and triumphant success. All right, so this would be similar in the traditional tarot. I'm using the psychic tarot now. So you're getting very deep, intuitive, psychic updates, okay? Also, I'm picking up raw energy, so Egyptian ancestry, okay? Being connected interdimensionally. All right, let me shuffle the cards a bit more. All right, so mixing up something, taking some change, taking some making strategic adaptations, okay, to authority. All right, so treat strategic adaptations happening within authority. All right, I may watch this video back for myself because the energy feels very flowing. Generally, I'm able to pick up on something. So you're being shifted consciously, energetically, away from things that were weighing you down, okay? Your spirit, your soul, okay? And picking up groups attempting to kill the spirit, kill the soul, kill the mind, right? They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. So something about Trump within the Western world, something about any type of leader related to that. All right, yeah, so some type of disharmony. Okay, so there's disharmony. Something is out of balance. Okay, something being out of balance about groups or entities that were attempting to have success over you. Fuck that shit. That's what I heard. Fuck that shit. Okay, so deception and envy. All right, fuck deception and envy. Okay. Okay, so there's this energy and frequency of saying fuck that shit to any deception and envy being projected onto you to cause you some form of disharmony, okay? Attempting to keep you away from your triumphant success and wish fulfillment, which, as it's literally in my hands here in this film, in this video, you already have it. It's already here, triumphant success. There is, the war has been completed, okay? Separating, okay, balance. Yeah, balance. Balance has been achieved. Okay, as above, so below, within the coins, so emotionally, with the coin and the star being represented there, so in the physical flesh, okay, in matters of finances, of matters of structure, okay, of elements, and then you have the emotions, all right, also your clear thinking emotionally balanced as well. Yeah, you got the light. You are the light, which was also mentioned in this illumination, the luminous ones, okay? You are of the light. And when I say the light, this is not a energy of righteousness or an energy of light being holier than thou. This is an energy of being truth, being one of the many truths, okay, in balance, right? Being the light, not shrouded in darkness. You've alchemized your darkness and transmuted it into light, okay? Because without the light, there would be no darkness, okay? It just would be dark. But you are the light in the darkness, working with the darkness, working with the light, really transmuting these energies, all right? Bringing all of this conflict and defeat, reverse. Fertility, reverse. Getting out of these reversed energies, right? Unblocking your heart. Right? Having positive changes to material and finances, okay? Wherever you are in the world, whatever currency you're using, okay? Getting out of that energy. I'm also picking up something on heavy legal activity. Okay, so illuminating some light for abundance, okay, leading to the triumphant success of your wish fulfillment, getting out of some rejecting any type of disharmony that is being projected onto you through deception and envy, all right, and being able to recognize these things clearly. I was being guided to use the Hermetic Tarot deck, all right, so you may be as well guided into some Hermetic sciences, really being able to recognize as you build these new realities and consciousnesses, okay, and forging these new paths as you are the ancestor now, 333 on the timer as well. There may be significant mastery of something, some ascended mastership. Okay, 5 of Wands, Lord of Strife. Yeah, so separating from any type of strife energy as you build these new realities and looking back, okay, or reflecting on, okay, the specific foundations that have been laid through all of the aspects of human existence and the ways that we can understand and perceive, okay, expanding. Okay, something about a King of Wands as well that has been being tamed, okay? You may be, depending on where you are in the energy, okay? A Princess of Cups reverse, so some very spiteful, jealous, emotionally out of balance energy, and a High Priestess reverse, okay? These energies, Knight of Swords, so these may be the energies that are being separated from your existence, okay? And or the energies within yourself that you've healed, okay? If these are some of your south nodes, okay? So if you have a water sign in your south node placements of your birth chart, okay? Yeah, some type of tower reversed. you've reversed some type of tower. And this may have been divinely guided as well. Okay. Yeah, being prude, okay, having prudence. So not prude in the sense of judging sexual liberation, but being prude in the sense of making your next steps, taking the action in this visionary, in this vision that you're building, you seeing yourself as the visionary, okay, you having the freedom to express yourself in these ways. Yeah, you bring justice to yourself. All right, this all feels very personal or personalized. All right, so take what resonates and leave what does not. Share if it does not, so that the message gets to the soul tribe that it needs to get to. Okay, yeah. So life force has been shortened for groups or individuals that were attempting to come for you. Yeah, with the devil energy being here. Okay, what does the devil have to say? So this Capricorn energy. So there may have been a toxic earth sign. All right, again, not all, no good or evils, no good or bads. It's simply the energy, right? Okay, so the devil was holding on to an Ace of Pentacles of yours through earned success, previously earned success, perceived. Okay, Aquarius may be significant. All right, so the devil holding on to, keeping you in the perceived illusion of this Eight of Swords. Okay, shortening your life force. All right, through believing or making you believe that you're bound to something, chained to something. Okay. All right, extra significance on the trine as well. All right, so as you see me reorganizing the deck, okay, so reorganizing your emotional fulfillment. All right, Lord of the root of the powers of water. You reorganizing your emotional fulfillment. Look at that. Okay. You reorganizing into less grind, more alignment. Confirmation. Thank you for that message from the group. Yeah. All right. You making your Ace of Swords. Listen, so we have Ace of Swords twice. You have double triumphant and triumph success, okay, in multi dimensions, okay, multiple decks, multiple ways of being, multiple ways of perspective, right? All right, you may be entering some type of mastery school, okay. This may be in a literal sense, okay, going back to education and being fundamentally purposeful in growth, knowledge, learning, understanding. Okay. So if you needed to answer a question, or if you asked yourself a question within the context of this transmission, this video, in relation to yourself, then this is going to be a confirmation for you. Okay, the yes answer, a triumphant success answer. Okay, if this is coming from a positive place, okay, releasing these fears, releasing strife, okay? So you may have had a success in the recent past, you may have felt in this place of strife, but this shared context, perspective, perception is I'm activating it. I would say I am activating this to subconsciously heal or have you in a healed place. So you reach this Ace of Cups. And if you found this video, you are already subconsciously doing that yourself, okay? As you're stepping into this Empress energy, okay? The Empress being all of the queens within the traditional tarot, okay? Having mastered emotions, action, thought, finances, okay? Having mastery of these things. We have the Ace of Swords, so the truth about full emotions. So there may be some type of love confession coming in. So someone may love to hate you. Listen, Nine of Swords, okay? Someone may be heartbroken. Interesting. Some energies may be heartbroken or completely feeling destroyed. This is one away from complete destruction. So there may be a Gemini energy. So a duplicitous nature, okay, was possibly within a group, because we have Nine of Swords. So there may have been up to 9 different groups, different species, different entities being projected towards you that are now trapped. due to you understanding your Empress energy, your illumination energy, your abundant and sacred heart energy, you being able to recognize all this fucking deception and envy. Okay? Respectfully. Confirmation if you heard that. Wow. I split the deck again directly on Nine of Swords. Okay? So even up to 18 groups. Okay? So I mean, anyway, that energy has went back. All right, so Gemini, we made it, so they'll make it as well. So if many layers to this, many contexts to this, okay? If you've had those near-death experiences, you know what I mean. If you have literally died in return, a lot of us were in places to not really speak on that experience, but either way. Lord of despair and cruelty. You may have faced some cruelty, all right? And now you know what to do with cruelty. You know how to operate with those energies, okay? Yeah, you've been knighted, okay? You've been divinely knighted with the Knight of Swords appearing here, okay? You have Lord of the Winds and Breezes, okay? So heavy significant on Gemini, Taurus, okay? Air signs, air element. So the way that you're communicating, something is being communicated to you, tribe, and I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for us. I'm so excited for, this is beautiful energy. You have the freedom to understand that you are not alone. You are not trapped in this despair energy, okay? Something significant about Leos. So Leo, so there may have been nefarious. I'm picking up all of the signs, all of the elements through the signs, okay? These groups are being wiped out, and while these groups are being wiped out, energy is being returned. We've called our power back, okay? As this has happened, there's a rebalancing. And I'm also picking up on the energy of turning your enemies into friends, okay? Having them work for you, okay? Significance around 1111, so 111, 777, 999, all right? 666, double 999. So something is definitively complete. Something is definitively complete. We have the number 19 here as well, all right? Bringing in 10, so a new beginning, an infinite new beginning, all right? A completion and balance around harmony, okay? Divine masculine, you can look at this as divine masculine, divine feminine, really connecting with your soul tribe, someone that's on your emotional intelligence level, your spiritual IQ level, speaking through frequency and picking up telepathy, different telekinesis abilities, okay? All of the clairs. Yeah, so balance to your wish fulfillment and being able to recognize deception and envy around your triumphant success, okay? All right, tribe. That is going to be the reading for now. Yep, that's going to be the reading for now. Remember to like, share. Right, camera. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If this reading has resonated with you, I'm so glad to see the tribe growing, glowing, thriving, okay? Being, existing, presenting itself within reality so that reality can catch up and watch us. Click the link in the bio above for all of my other products and services. Check out the shorts for instant confirmations. All right. I'm picking up, remember the whispers of love. Remember the whispers of love. That may be significant for y'all, tribe. All right, I will see you all next time.